I've represented myself in small claims court a little over a year ago, and it ended up being a vivid experience, very intimidating and overwhelming. And I came to it with more experience and a little bit more confidence, probably because I have had some exposure to judges at the National Judicial College. I'm not law trained, so I walked into it really trying to do a good job, really reading everything online, all of the resources that were available, and trying to be very well prepared. I started off with the paperwork that I was supposed to fill out to explain what had happened. Very unclear on what I was supposed to put on that, how much. I've heard from a lot of judges they don't want too much. They often get too much information that's not relevant. I honestly didn't know what would be considered relevant in this context, that I had had him do work before and he'd done it well, that he was my daughter's softball coach. All these different things that I wasn't sure if they were going to have some impact or not, I put in there. So I started off putting on the sheet that had a half-page space and said you could write on the back. I wrote the whole half page and the entire back as well, even trying to keep it down. I went to court with all of my papers. I had copies of the check. I had multiple copies. I wasn't quite sure what I needed to have, so I had more than I needed. When I got there, I thought they did a pretty good job of setting up the order things were going to go in that morning. They offered up mediation. That was well done, and I thought people seemed like they were trying to make it a little bit easier process. I still don't think they understood how intimidating it is and how confusing it is. I sat there, the handyman did not show up, so I won. But I wasn't clear at all what to do from that point on. I wasn't even sure from the time that they said he's not there, here's the judgment, if I was supposed to say something to the judge, if I was supposed to stay in the courtroom or leave, where I was supposed to go to get proof that I'd won, and then what I was supposed to do after that with it to actually get the money from him. I followed the lead of the self-represented litigant who came right before me. She said, "Thank you, Your Honor," and walked out the door. And so that's what I did. I said, "Thank you, Your Honor," walked out the door, and basically started turning circles trying to figure out what the next step was. And I asked 3 different people, went to different windows, finally was sent down to the clerk to get the proof that I won. They said you had to request it. It didn't come automatically, which I would have thought that it would have. I did request it. I never received it. So I really was left with, what do I do? How do I get this money? How do I prove I won? What's the next step, even from stepping outside the courtroom doors?